leave it up in the air.
Of course.
Yep, I'm going to avoid that. So thanks, Panda, for breaking it down for us. We're going to get into our first round of Oasis between LGE.Huya and Lucky Future. Now, remember, going into this series here, Kenobi, LGE played TFV last week. So TFV is one of the weakest teams here in the region. They haven't gotten victory just yet, so haven't been tested too much. And then Lucky Future, they beat GZA, who had, had a lot of trouble earlier this morning. So I think this is probably the first big test for both of these two teams.
And really what I want to highlight here for LGE is that they have this player by the name of Hacker you see right now on Sombra. Hacker, one of the best Sombras in the region, if not the best. Used to play for a team known as Ambitious Immortals, who was able to go undefeated when they went into trials. Unfortunately, they were disbanded, but Hacker was known as one of the best players and the best Sombras again. And as you can already see, has that EMP very quickly. Since does a great job there fragging out so that Lucky Future wins the point. But now LGE has this EMP for this next fight. Hacker farming it very, very quickly.
Yep, definitely want to keep your eyes on Hacker going into this next one, and as well as Piggy and JMac, two of the Korean players here on LGE, who are both getting close to ultimates, especially Piggy, who's about to have that Graviton. So both the Graviton and the EMP could help wipe Lucky Future on their own. They might only have to burn one here. There's the EMP thrown down, and Since and 1000 go down immediately. 6v4 situation, and both the Zarya and the Bree are super low for Lucky Future. Either of them could go down. There's Mellow. 6v3 situation. LG is going to continue to push their advantage, get rid of the remainder of LF Lucky Future, and that's about 35% on the board for LF before LGE takes the board.
And there you just see the power that EMP and Sombra brings to the table, right? They win that fight off of just an EMP alone. They're able to keep their ultimate economy pretty high right now. Are gonna have 5 ults going into this next phase of the fight, whereas for Lucky Future, they've switched. They have MZ, who doesn't really have his rally yet, only gonna have 5 ultimates of their own into this next fight. Mellow, not that close to that Graviton just yet.
Oh, and JMac lets that Earth Shatter crack down. 3 members of Lucky Future hit the back and hit their backs to the floor, and that's going to be the entirety of Lucky Future cleaned up yet again. LGE is going to take the lead with that fight win, but they will be down in ultimates. So only have 2 support ultimates going to this next one, but Hacker should be able to get their EMP in time.
Jeez, I don't even know if Piggy needed to grab there. That was a big ulti coming out from JMac, but again, you mentioned it. Hacker has this EMP, and EMP, again, one of those abilities that if you get it off in time before Lucky Future, gets off their Transcendence, gets off their grab, it can win the fight for you, and you're going to be able to pull up some ultimate charge for yourself.
Oh, trying to use the Translocator to get up behind them in the EMP.
Oh, he got caught.
Hacker gets caught by the Graviton, yep, so that gets shut down before they're able to use the EMP. Lucky Future should be able to take this pretty easily now that LGE's big players are down. It should be only about 63 or 64% of the board here for LG. They will sneak away with 65, but Lucky Future will take control of the point yet again.
Yeah, Hacker was trying to position himself in a different area, but unfortunately got caught in the Graviton Surge's pull, went down very early, and that's kind of the issue with the Sombra Goats that they're running here from LGE.Huya, is that if you don't have a Diva, right? So it basically says for the Zarya, okay, I'm going to have basically a free Graviton here, there's no reason to eat it, I just have to be worried about Transcendence and Soundbarrier.
And 1000 has that Earth Shatter, but gets hacked, gets EMP there, Hacker gets the Sins. Piggy on 1000, 6v4 situation. And there's that Reinhardt just partially stunned there, but JMac gets out and is able to kill Recall. The Lucky Future, again, very, very intensely stunned there and losing control of the point. LGE will be able to get control of the point and tie things up yet again. A very close match here, Kenobi.
Yeah, and unfortunately, 1000 has held onto the Shatter for a very long time, mostly because the fights haven't gone in his favor, and when he's had it, he's always been hacked or EMP'd, so he's hopefully now he can get off a good one, but JMac has his of his own. There's the Graviton available also for Piggy here. On the other side, they have the Transcendence available to counteract it, but Mellow isn't really farming that Graviton as fast here as Piggy is, but that's a great eat there from Roses.
All right, so there we go. That's going to be huge. Piggy already losing that. JMac has to hit a huge Earth Shatter. Gets only, I think, 1 or 2 members there, and Since with a great Transcendence really bolstering the rest of the team. So Lucky Future does not get melted off that Earth Shatter.
Hacker has EMP.
There's the EMP ready to go. Graviton also goes down with the Self-Destruct, trying to get a combination to keep Lucky Future in this one. It's not going to find Pay Dirt. It will be LGE completely wiping the floor with Lucky Future as everything is thrown down. The kitchen sink and then some. Overtime ticks away. Lucky Future cannot remain on the point. They're nowhere to be found, and LGE will take the first round on Oasis.
Yeah, and with you know, Lingon Esports, Huya, we didn't get a chance to mention this at the start, but this is the Chengdu Academy team, right? And they kind of did something different that the other teams hadn't really. You know, Team CC had their team already previously, and Guangzhou as well. Guangzhou made their own academy team. You know, Hangzhou also made theirs in Billy Gaming, but LGE and Huya, they decided to basically take a team that was LGE from last season, you know, sign them to their roster, and now they have this roster for themselves. They brought in other players like Piggy and JMac, but they kept Kami. They brought in hackers, some really nice Chinese talent. So this team it's interesting to see a team that kind of is just signed as an academy team instead of building a new one for yourselves. Yeah,
absolutely. It's cool to see that quote unquote like homegrown talent getting the opportunity to represent a solid brand here. And now we have the second phase of Oasis with LGE, as we're talking about, already up. But it was hard. Lucky Future definitely gave them a run for their money. That first round was certainly not a decisive win for LGE. Lucky Future getting outplayed in that EMP Graviton game for sure. Now let's see how they can do in our second phase of Oasis. Of course, a best of 3 as always. LGE pushing up forward. Hager already at 24% for the EMP and counting. Meanwhile, Roses is hacked. That's going to be a big deal for Lucky Future. They got to be careful, but they're continuing to play aggressively despite that. They're not letting that Sombra scare them. And LGE responding to that, going to clump up and push to the left side. Both teams swinging, trying to build up ult charge. Piggy's at almost 100 charge in the Zarya, but still a ways away from the Graviton. And Kenobi, neither team with first blood just yet, but both teams poking a lot.
And Molly has Transcendence before Synth does, so if LGE.Huya decides to do this, they can use it aggressively, but JMac goes down before the Transcendence can hit him. That's absolutely huge for the side of Lucky Future to try and win this fight.
Oh, and Haker does throw out the EMP, but is super low. It's hard for Haker to get in there. Molly for 2, Mellow's super low. That's going to be Haker getting the cleanup there. And the rest of the team's going to play in traffic. It's
oh no!
1,000 goes down to the girl of that Toyota. That's going to be it. LGE
add him to the list.
Picks up the kill. They're going to be up 9%.
Yeah, and again, you see Haker really showing his value on the Sombra there. It looked really bad once the JMac went down and the Transcendence was used, but Haker comes back with a really clutch EMP, gets everyone, and Molly, one of kind of the lesser-known Zenyatas in the region, is able to frag with the rest of his team, and now Lingon Esports and Huya have control of this point. They have the Graviton available to them, but Lucky Future, a treasure trove of ultimates for them.
Absolutely, and Haker certainly is going to be close to another EMP pretty soon. There's Piggy with the Graviton catching Lucky Future as they push out of that choke point there. They'll be bolstered up by their supports, but Lucky Future is really just burning. Oh no, right into that Earth Shatter. 4 go down. Lucky Future scrambling to get back into position. Trying to cover. Oh no, and 1,000 separates from the rest of the team. A Lucky Future in a bad position here as they lose their Reinhardt to another portion of the map, and then 1,000 goes down to JMac. The rest of Lucky Future gets followed up upon, and LGE now, they're looking much stronger than they did in the previous round.
Haker is playing out of his mind right now, has a huge hack onto synths, and then there's the communication between the players that we can grab here. They force out the sound barrier, which is not the ultimate you really want to use to counteract a Graviton, and then an EMP comes out, it gets everyone, and their ultimate economy is reset for Lingon Esports. Lucky Future have a ton of ultimates, but this is last fight territory. They need to dump everything here.
Let's see if Lucky Future can make a lot off this Graviton Transcendence here. Piggy does DMEC Roses. Lucky Future can't find the kills that they need because LGE pops their own ultimates as well. Piggy with their own Graviton. Lensa as well with their sound barrier there. And again, Lucky Future, when they pop and commit to ultimates, LGE with a counter immediately and shut them down.
And Hager is just playing so smart. I can't stress enough how important he's being in these fights there. He hacks Roses so that Roses can't use his defense matrix. He goes down very early, and this is just going to be a clean win for Lingon Esports and Huya. They take a very convincing 2-0 in Rapture. We said it was going to be 3-2. After that match, I'm thinking maybe, you know, I'm thinking my prediction's right. But I'm maybe thinking like 3-0.
You and Panda said 3-2. I didn't say anything.
Okay, we all know that at the end of this, whoever's right, you're gonna be like, I knew it all along. I was gonna predict 3-2.
Well, speaking of 3-2s, I know Panda, who's waiting along here to have some words for us here, also said 3-2. Are you having mixed feelings after seeing that?
Yes. But it's okay. It's all right. No, it's okay. It's okay.
Right.
You know,
it's just control. It's just
control.
It's
just control, right? And you know, and a wise man once told me, a team that wins control, you know, you can't have good feelings off that. Can you, Rapture?
That sounds like something I said earlier this morning. Yeah, you're right. No,
quite
I do feel you there.
Bringing it all the way back.
Okay, so you know, LGE gets. the first round wasn't, wasn't too like far, just there wasn't a huge disparity. They're pretty close. The second round was definitely in LGE's favor. But what was it, do you think, Panda, made the difference for Lucky Future? In the first round, they did a lot better. Second round, not as much.
I think for Lucky Future, what it mostly came down to is that they recognized what they were up against. I mean, for most teams these days, it's very rare that you don't end up facing a team throughout your weeks that are constantly running this Sombra-esque style of triple support that we have known and loved to see all the way up to the upper epsilons of Overwatch League. And the way that they're able to play this out, you can see it right here on your screens or in the highlights. Just look how grouped up they are, all across on Gardens, always around one another. And this is where Sombra can, yes, gain full effects of EMP, but can also be fully punished, too. Right next to the Reinhardt, trying to find the Zenyatta. And this is, yeah, this is, you guys had a good time playing Crossing Walk right there, and not looking both ways.
He would be bad at Frogger.
Like, yeah, it really gets you like that sometimes, doesn't it?
All right. Well, we've definitely seen with at least a portion of what these teams can do. Are either of you thinking about changing your predictions? I'll give you an opportunity.
No,
because it's because I'm going against Kenobi, and you didn't give me one, so I gotta stay in my ground, soldier.
All right. Fair. We'll definitely take that. We have some more maps coming your way. Can Lucky Future bring it back against LGE? We'll find out on the other side of this break. What's up, Overwatchers? Welcome back to Overwatch Contenders China Season 1 2019, Week 2, Day 2.
I'm thinking that we probably hear, I think we see that, I think LGE.Huya sticks to what they, what brought them here. I think it's going to be, Haker going to stay on the Sombra. And the thing about Haker, I want to touch on just a little bit is how prominent he's been in Chinese contenders and Chinese Overwatch for a while. He's a top 10 player on Sombra specifically, has one of the best Sombras in the region, if not the best, was on this team called Ambitious Immortals, who had this Ambitious Immortal composition. Micha, you may know as one of the best Doomfists in the world, came from that team as well. So Haker definitely knows his stuff on Sombra, and you saw it in the last map too, how much ult charge he was getting, how big his EMPs were, as JMac gets a very nice kill on the 1000 right away.
JMac with the 360 no scope right there. Now it's a 6v4 situation. LGE is just gonna, all right, we're just gonna walk right in, not even knock on the door, not even take their shoes off. They're not even gonna wipe on the welcome mat. They're just gonna walk right in. Lucky Future already getting routed on defense. In 44 seconds, LGE takes point A.
And Rapture, we kind of talked about this being the first test, really, for LG. They played Team for Victory last week. It went pretty convincingly, and Lucky Future is the team that beat GZA, who was a pretty big upset at the time. And now Lingon Esports and Huya is coming into this match looking extremely well. 1000 keeps dying immediately, time and time again, dying first. You can't have that be happening with your Reinhardt, because then it's just free for your Zarya and for your Zen to just get as many kills as they want.
Kenobi, isn't Overwatch a multiplayer game? Because I'm pretty sure LG is playing a single player campaign right now.
This is like PvE.
I haven't seen Lucky Future get a single kill. LGE is just holding forward and getting kills here. Now Haker and Piggy are ready to go for the next fight. LF literally don't have a single resource to show for any of these fights. They are gonna get MZ's rally soon, hopefully, but they're gonna go for a full rotation. They're gonna try and get position advantage since they don't have ult. Now they're gonna go for the jump in, but they go right into the trap. EMP lands Molly and Haker for 2. 5v4 situation, 5v3. Haker's the only one that goes down. LGE is gonna come out on top yet again, and this might be enough here, Kenobi, to take the entirety of second checkpoint.
I don't think I've seen Haker hit an EMP that has been under 4 people. It's always 5, 6-man, 4-man EMPs, and when you're getting all of those cooldowns hacked, it's basically a free win. EMP very, very strong as an ability, and now they're going to try and recontest here for Lucky Future, and there is this Graviton here from Piggy.
Yep, throws it right down. Matrix isn't there in time, and that's,
my goodness.
That speaks for itself there, Kenobi.
Yeah, this is like, that scene in like Star Wars, the Revenge of the Sith, where Anakin is doesn't have the high ground and Kenobi has the high ground.
I remember that.
It kind of looks like that, where Lucky Future is thinking, yeah, no, we can take him, we can contest here, and then Kenobi just says no, and then slices off like 3 of your limbs. So for Lingon Esports, it's looking very good for them right now.
The only thing is, that was after like 45 minutes of fighting on lava. We've only been in this map for what, like 30 seconds, and LG is already to the end. They get caught in a Graviton, self-destruct, ready to go. Oh, it bounces off the top. It doesn't get into where it needs to go. Oh no, it got caught by one of the arcs. It falls back, doesn't get where it needs to be. Now there's a Transcends trying to pick up the slack, trying to salvage this fight for Lucky Future, but LGE is able to continue to push through the payload, and they've isolated these tanks away from each other. The D.Va's up very far. Piggy trying to pick up the Zarya, and as a result, Rose is so far up ahead, gets DMAC, isn't close enough to the rest of the team to be healed, and now LG is going to try and stagger the rest of the Lucky Future defense to try and get this payload to the end of the map.
And as if it couldn't get worse for 1000 in this map, he tries to go for a shatter there, but JMac reads the shatter and shatters himself, canceling out the shatter for him, and then they're able to just use that, kill that Reinhardt, go down. Another huge shatter from JMac, an EMP to section everyone off. Ults are coming out quick and fast in 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Rapture, they're speedrunning through this map.
What a combination right there. Graviton, it runs out. Right at the end of that Graviton, Earth Shatter goes down. Right at the end of that Earth Shatter, EMP goes down. Honestly, that was just Lucky Future. He got absolutely steamrolled there. And now we've got a nicely paved route to the end of the map, courtesy of LGE. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if LGE goes for the full hold here. Lucky Future, honestly, I thought things would be a lot closer, but it really looked like they weren't there at all. LGE just destroys them and finishes the map very swiftly.
And do you know who this looks really bad for? This looks really bad for GZA. Really, really bad. The fact that, you know, Lucky Future beat them, and then Lucky Future right now is getting taken to town by the other academy team, one of the other academy teams in their group. So, you know, if you use the transitive property here, once LGE plays GZA, it's going to be another pretty big stomp because they lost to Team CC. GZA lost to Team CC today as well, and Lucky Future just, it's not looking good. Like 1000 is getting caught out by himself a lot of the time, dying first, and when that Reinhardt dies first, like I talked about, it's just free damage for your Zarya, for your Zen. There's nothing to stop it, and then they just roll through you. And I don't think I've seen Eichenwald specifically be captured in such a fast time. 4 minutes and 15 seconds is extremely long.
There really wasn't
it's
like
more time than when you start with, actually.
Yeah, there wasn't
more seconds
really
than what you start with.
A good fight at all throughout that map for Lucky Future. I mean, LG, once they got point A, the payload I don't even think ever stopped. I think it kept moving the entire time. So, and you would think, you know, Lucky Future has certainly been one of the teams that has been on the lower end of the totem pole throughout Contenders China for the past few seasons. But for a while, they were living in the shadow of Lucky Future Zenith, you know, their older brother team, essentially, right? And now you have, you know, after a season not having to worry about that with like the power vacuum a little bit, and Lucky Future Zenith not being there. Now you have this season where Lucky Future, this is their expectation for them to grow, and it still seems like they're stumbling early in the seasons and having trouble with these kind of middle ground teams and upper echelon teams like LGE, and are having a hard time getting through even this part of the season.
And it looks like here that the Winston Goats is, or the Winston Somber Goats is going to come out from LGE.Huya here. And look at all the the health bars right here. MZ is hacked, so he's not able to armor pack. Rose is there. These hacks from Haker are just so clutch and just on the perfect targets that they need at the perfect time. And now they're just going to snowball more into this backline. J-Mac going to cleave through every single person he can find. And that's just going to be that.
And I like now that LGE on defense is going with Molly on the Ana, just because in a lot of situations you have those narrow walkways that are perfect for those biotic grenades that Ana can get. And she's already going to get that nano boost. Molly's right there at that. Haker has the EMP. J-Mac has the Primal Rage. They have everything they need to win another fight. And Lucky Future, they've already lost 1 minute and 20 seconds here, Kenobi. They're going to go for another push, but they're hit immediately by an EMP. They had to see it coming. There's that biotic grenade that literally kills Sins and weakens so much to the team. Yeah, Lensa with the right click. And just like that, LGE erases Lucky Future very swiftly once more.
And they won that with just an EMP. They're able to keep 5 of their other ults. Lingon can continue to just cycle their ultimates one by one and win these next fights if they want to. And with 2 minutes left, you get 1 or 2 more fights here for Lucky Future. You don't even have an ult rotation yet. In this next fight, you need to farm up to some ultimates or it's going to be disastrous for you.
There we go. Lingon, speaking of ultimates, Jesus Christ, Lingon is throwing down everything. J-Mac on the nano boost. There's the rally. Now we have, or J-Mac has the Primal Rage with nano boost on them. Now they're still Primal Raging. The J-Mac, Hikami uses that rally. That's spent up. Lensa still has their sound barrier. Piggy still with the self-destruct. It's probably not even necessary at this point, but Rose is going to try and use their self-destruct to get some leverage here. It does essentially nothing. Lingon can continue to push up forward. We have Piggy on the high ground, has the self-destruct ready to go. Lucky Future kind of scrambling to get in position. Everyone's kind of separated here, and now they're coalescing back towards this back room here, trying to get into cover.
What a stun.
Great stun. 1000 really has no choice but hit by that self-destruct there. Now Piggy doing even more damage. LGE continues to move forward. They have Lucky Future in the corner. They're going to keep them there, bashing their heads in. LGE now pushing them off the map right there. Oh my god, the disrespect. F in chat, please. Lucky Future again routed, and LGE reduced them to just about 1 minute and change.
We talked about coordination for Lucky Future coming into this match, and they're a really weirdly placed bomb from Roses. You were about 4% away from Mello getting his Graviton. A grab bomb combo against a Winston Goats is almost a guaranteed couple of kills. As another EMP from Haker gets a 5-man, the anti to follow up, and this is just brutal right now. Lingon Esports doing everything they want. Nice shatter though from 1000.
All right, out though, 1000 throwing down a G. He's trying to make. You gotta spend money to make money, Kenobi. And look at that! Wow, that Earth Shatter. That could be enough.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's going to be enough. 1000 is going to carry, basically single-handedly win that fight for them. It looked really bad for Lucky Future in those last couple of fights, but now with that shatter, great job from him. They're able to take this point basically in overtime, so they have 3 minutes to push this cart. I would like to see here for Lingon take some aggressive fights, because in that last defense for them, Lucky Future only took really 1 fight and you really want to maximize your amount of fights when you're running Goats, right? Especially if it's Somber Goats. You want to try and farm up that EMP quickly, stop them in their tracks. But Lucky Future coming into this next fight, they have some ultimates. 1000 is hacked again from Hager.
Yeah, there's a, I believe, a transcendence from Since. Yeah, it does come out. Self-destruct as well. Lensa can't get behind the shield. Oh, and a stun allowing Since to get J-Mac. 6v5 situation, or 5v4 situation, sorry, for the Lucky Future squad as LGE finally finds themselves having a bit of trouble, but they burnt themselves so much time with some great defense that Lucky Future still has to keep the pedal to the metal. They can't hesitate.
But the man of the hour, Haker, has his EMP again. And as we've been seeing, these EMPs have been basically fight winning for this team. And if, really going to have to be looking out for Recall here. Recall cannot use this sound barrier before the EMP. That's the worst case scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. Haker is ready to go with that. Piggy just got Graviton. It's just 1000 pushing that payload up. Melo now going to join them, has the Graviton ready to go for them. MZ just burned out their rally. There's the Graviton, catches only half of LGE in that, but it will be enough for 1000 to find Piggy. Now Haker with that EMP, let's see what they can do off that. A big shadow. Wow, J-Mac putting the team on their back. LGE says no. Lucky Future not only burned everything, but they lost the fight. That's absolutely devastating for Lucky Future. And now they're about a minute and 17 seconds left on the clock. They still have so much more work to do, and LGE is ahead in the ult game.
J-Mac turns around and says to 1000, anything you can do, I can do better. Hits a huge shatter right there and wins his team the fight. And now with a minute left and where the card is, Lucky Future is only going to get one more shot at pushing this cart. They have the transcendence from Since, but not much else to talk about.
I mean, most likely when Piggy throws down that Graviton, you're going to see that transcendence come down from Since. But that's it, or they could have Since try and use the transcendence proactively, but that's very risky, and LG might be able to respond in tow, especially with the ultimates they have ready to go. Now Lucky Future gonna try and take this fight. They get caught in a Graviton. LG trying to follow up, can't necessarily get anything. Meanwhile, J-Mac getting rid of Rose's nice charge there. Rose is completely separated from the rest of the team, but Piggy goes down from Recall. 5v5 situation here. Let's see if LGE is not going to overextend. They're going to let Lucky Future come to them. But in the meantime, oh, wow. Oh! They suck him into the EMP, into the Earthshell that's hid behind the payload, but will it be enough? LGE gets two big Langsa! They're huge plays there. Now J-Mac going to push up, puts pressure on 1000, gets the kill. Looking for the Lucio, takes that
Langsa
again. The kill. Lucky Future going down. Now they just have the D.Va, but LGE is in full control. The D.Va's on the point, trying to stagger, trying to continue to put pressure on the point, but that pressure is non-existent. Overtime ticking away, and that is that. The combinations from LGE works perfectly, and Lucky Future cannot complete the map.
LGE is looking like the most well-oiled machine in Chinese contenders right now. Maybe Billy Gaming can contest to that title, but oh my goodness, does this team look like they are probably a Pacific Challenge type of team, don't they, Rapture?
They honestly do. I thought that LG was able to do like the full hold. They were looking like the beginning of Super Mario RPG where you can't beat Bowser when he has a Star Rod and you have to take the L. And that's how it looked like. Lucky Future literally, no matter what they do, is like almost as if LGE was invincible. But somehow they broke it through. They were able to make it. Unfortunately, though, they lost all their lives halfway through the campaign. And at that point, LGE, they're up 2-0. They're looking, they've only gotten better looking throughout the series.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna bring back in Panda here for this halftime. Just give us a little bit of a rundown of this
of how wrong I am. I don't know.
Oh yeah, okay,
yeah. Like,
tell me how wrong you are, Panda.
I'll do that one for you.
Sorry, man.
Don't worry.
I didn't want to put you on the spot. I understand that you kind of made a commitment early in the series, and now here you are.
It's fine.
You gotta face the music, brother.
So how are you feeling after those two maps, Panda?
I feel like my Earth has been shattered. I feel
so
like
does 1000.
Yeah, honestly speaking, I mean, like when you're just getting absolutely bodied in the neutral like that, like you're gonna end up like unleashing eventually. And like he was saving up all that meter for that one raw level 3, then he held down the super buttons and came into a level 5, and that Earth Shatter was massive. I mean, able to like get so far all the way up to the bridge just off of that one Earth Shatter, and it was a series of fortunate events for Lucky Future. It's just not the rest. It's just not that the rest of it's going to be there. You can take a look at some of the highlights as I'm going to talk through it. You can see Haker, like everybody. There's not a single body on the side of LGE that you cannot be afraid of. Tommy shield bashing. You have a main tank that's always going to find a lot of space. J-Mac, that's a fantastic. Reinhardt, Anna Winston, you'll see a lot of that in this map. And then we can talk about Langsa. Langsa here at the end, able to find value in the sound wave on the bridge, and that's really the beginning of it all at the end. Really, that's how it is. There's not a single inch of this team that's not intimidating the Lucky Future right now. They have no answers.
Yeah, it's looking pretty rough. Unfortunately, I can't give you guys the opportunity to change your predictions. That it's halftime, so
I mean, I don't need to.
I know you
you
want to say. I know Panda's feeling a little bad about that, but it's all right.
I already went against myself. I feel like.
That's true. Lucky Future is not out of it though. What would you guys say? I'm gonna go back to you, Panda. Lucky Future. Who is a player you think that is a standout player for the team that might be able to get them back into this?
Listen, if we don't say, I feel like if we don't say 1,000 right now, then we're never going to. Because I mean, like if there's one person that's obviously shown the slightest bit of consistency so far, would definitely be 1,000. Definitely not on those Earth Shatters. I mean, if you're hitting Godly Shatters like that, then you're just winning Chinese Contenders, you know, off break. But I think off of that, keep 1,000 up, keep your resources managed, Lucky Future. Trust that he will end up creating the space and be able to lay down the hammer when need be.
I think with one of the things also that they need to do for Lucky Futures, they need to stick someone on Haker. Like you can't have like someone has to check him. And I think the D.Va is probably the player that does it the most. You know, we see in Overwatch League, a lot of the D.Vas are very good, like someone like Johnny, for instance, which is kind of an unfair comparison. But, you know, you have to be able to, you know, snipe out these Sombras, make sure they're not getting the value. Because while 1,000 is, you know, getting, you know, dying first, it's because he's getting hacked, he's getting Discord. It's just not, he's not having a fun time right now.
Definitely not, but LGE certainly is because they're up 2-0. We have some more maps to go. Can Lucky Future tie things up, or will LGE take the series? Don't go anywhere. We'll find out on the other side of this break. What's up, Overwatchers? Welcome back to Overwatch Contenders China Season 1 2019. It is Week 2, it is Day 2, and it is 2-0 between LGE and Lucky Future as we move on to our third map of the series, Volskaya Industries. I'm Rapture here with my man Kenobi. Kenobi, we've seen Lucky Future. They faltered into 2 map losses after 1 round of surprisingly good Oasis, and then they kind of haven't really bounced back since. So, Kenobi, what do you think Lucky Future has to do to try and turn things around here on Volskaya?
We talked about it a little bit at halftime. Is I think they really need to start scouting out Hacker and putting Haker and putting someone on him. I call him Hacker sometimes because he's on Sombra. You know, it makes sense aesthetically. But they really need to make sure that Haker isn't getting the value that he's been getting so far on Sombra. He's charging his EMP much too quickly for my liking. So I really want to see Lucky Future try and scout it out a little bit more.
And no surprise here, both teams going with the goat Sombra. I don't know what
Sombra goats.
Sombra goats. So
yeah.
Sombra goats. Yeah. Hager on that Sombra, Mellow on the Sombra. So both teams running exactly what you would expect on Volskaya here. But as we've seen throughout the series so far, Hager has always been ahead in the EMP ult charge game. Let's see if Mellow can keep up with Haker's EMP ult charge. Now, MD's gonna go down first. That's first blood for LGE, but since immediately responds to the kill on JMac, Piggy finds 1,000. 5v4 situation here. Rose is trying to get some ult charge. Has to stay behind cover. Help it out is Lucio, who's doing a lot of healing here, but that means he's somewhat removed from the fight, and then Molly gets the kill. LGE will be able to clean things up, and pretty convincingly there, Lucky Future gets decimated on point A.
And there again, it's Haker just making the big plays with his hack. There, he hacks Roses so that Roses isn't able to bubble his Brigitte, who is very low and couldn't get the healing, that went down almost immediately. And now he has 88% coming into this next fight. He's going to have EMP, whereas Mellow, not even 70% to his.
And now you can see Haker gets the EMP. Mellow, you're right, just at 69%, nice, but not enough, not nice enough. Roses, meanwhile, trying to stay on this high ground, so low charge, can't really get close enough to get any hits down. There's the EMP, but Haker was super low health, so couldn't follow up. Lucky Future, though, is separated. That wasn't a huge EMP, but because Lucky Future was already out of position, LGE can push up and punish. 6v3 situation, and just like that, Lucky Future is decimated right there. I mean, this is like seeing a Thunder type just hit a water flying type for 4 times damage right there. LGE,
hey, you know,
destroyed.
You know what? Nene could take some hints there about, you know, EMPing those or gravitoning those Sombras, you know, solo grabbing them.
Might be a good idea.
That's how you do it. Watch the VOD.
EMP comes down from Mellow, but Mellow gets put down pretty low, trying to follow up here. JMac swinging away, knows that they really have very little else to do, that they get sucked into that graviton. But despite that, LGE just literally just continuing to hold forward and left mouse and get kills, get hits, and ignore Lucky Future's ultimate usage. They get caught in a graviton, they continue to hold forward, swing, 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 get the kill right at the crosswalk there. And just like that, LGE, 2 points right then and there, Kenobi.
Yeah, I mean, this just looks convincing all around for LGD. They're the better team on paper. It seems like they're the better team on the day as well. And LF just look lost. I mean, they even bring out the Sombra to try and counter Haker themselves. But as you saw, the discrepancy is still there. You know, there was a point where Mellow is down 30% in ult charge to the EMP, whereas Haker has his EMP already. So they just don't know how to deal with someone of the capability that is Haker. And if LGE continues this strong performance that they're having, they're going to have to find some team that deals with it. People are going to have to study up on Haker and figure out a way to beat this team. Because if they continue to play like this, ain't nobody in this region beating this team.
Yeah, honestly, I think Lucky Future needs like LG to get like the glare in their eyes like I'm getting right now. Like they need something to like, they need like almost like divine intervention.
They need to like push the glasses up, and then like the glasses, you know, do the anime glare thing. They need to do that.
And like just reach in for another chip and they eat it. But they need to do something. I think the thing is that LGE right now are playing fundamentally just better Overwatch, and when that transitions to both teams running a mirror match composition, it comes down to who can run that composition better, and it's Haker ahead of the game with EMPs. It's the tank line of Lucky Future getting separated here and there. So for LGE, you can clearly see that they know what they got to do to win here. And Lucky Future going to be starting off with a very different composition that we've seen previously, but it's a composition that is slightly similar to one we've already seen earlier in the day from other teams. But we got like a Tracer with a Widowmaker Pharah. Kenobi, what do you make of this?
Yeah, this is a composition that has actually seen some popularity on this map, especially on A, this quad DPS composition with the solo Mercy. It's going to be a little bit more difficult for Heurix to get value, but there gets a ton of value by hacking MZ. MZ can't go anywhere, can't use those jets or those boosters, goes down immediately, and that's a lot of damage that you've lost, but the res is going to come out, so he's going to be back.
Yep, and now we see LGE kind of relegated to this health pack room here, waiting it out. Lucky Future, I mean, they know that Lucky Future, they got to take out this far of the Mercy, or they got to take out the ground area, or ground troops essentially, and take them all out quickly before the FAR can really have any kind of impact here. And so far, LG kind of hesitating to do anything about it. They're letting Lucky Future get position on the point. They're letting them take 1/3, possibly 2/3 here. Slowly but surely, Lucky Future building up point A, but LGE and just very slightly tagging it every once in a while, sitting on the perimeter of the point, waiting until a Lucky Future
Heurix
commits.
has EMP.
And there's Heurix going in aggressively.
Recall,
Piggy with a kill on the recall. Recall can't res because they're dead. 5v4 situation. Heurix gets MZ. Now Piggy finds 1000, and Heurix has the EMP. Doesn't even have to burn it. Rose is, I hopefully was going to reset there. I believe that was the case. And Lucky Future looked like they had it, but Lucky Future took too long. They let Heurix get their EMP, and then Heurix just played aggressively, didn't even need it.
And you know what's awesome about that, actually, that defense coming out from LGE is they are very able to understand that we can give 1 or 2 ticks for free. It's not that big of a deal, especially since we're going to be forming up our ultimates. Once we get the dive correctly onto someone, then we're going to be good. There's another big EMP, and everyone's going to go down. Second burst, same as the first. Heurix is just putting on a clinic right now on Sombra.
And you could see how greedy MZ was being. MZ wanted that barrage. Look how you can see how low MZ was to the ground. I mean, pretty much setting themselves up for an EMP hit from Heurix. The EMP catches both the FAR, the Mercy, and then some, gets the kills, and that's all she wrote, Kenobi.
And Lucky Future is going to come back into this fight with a couple of ultimates. Mello here, going to get battled out by the Sombra. He loses, can't get the headshot. That's 1 down. It's a 5v6 right now.
Yeah, and just like that, Heurix already setting the tone of the fight, taking out Mello. That means LG can play aggressively, isolate the FAR Mercy. They do so. MZ goes down again. Molly goes down too, but they can afford to lose their Zenyatta in this fight right now. Heurix still alive, trying to hack the Tracer, but at the very least keeping the Tracer away from the rest of the team. MZ does get back in, and with the hand joining in.
Minefield!
Wow. That was huge. Those were about to drop, and then 1000 went down immediately after. What a play there by Heurix. And now Heurix is getting closer and closer to an EMP. Literally, this is Heurix versus Lucky Future right now, and Lucky Future doesn't have a solution for a single player. That's ridiculous.
Okay, Heurix, you're nuts. You know, you're just absolutely nuts. Hacks him in mid-animation of the minefield coming out and just stops all of that damage. That was a lot of damage that was going to be coming down onto the team. Negates it completely. Has an EMP available. Link on Esports, a treasure trove of ultimates available for them. MZ really has to make something happen with this barrage.
Yeah, MZ has been waiting to use this barrage, but I mean, you know that character's going to be channeling in place. Oh no, 1000 goes down early again to Heurix.
They're styling on him.
Gotta stop. It's too much right now. 1000 goes down again. 6v3 situation here. Sint and Recall join the graveyard. The FAR MZ has nowhere to go but run, and they can't even do that. Another full team wipe here for LGE. Lucky Future has 12 seconds to make something happen. Mel's going Ash, then 76. They're scrambling, Kenobi.
Gotta run. You have the sprint button. They have to get here quick. They have 5 seconds left. Heurix is ready and waiting with this EMP. He's gonna probably just drop it down on the point.
Yep, Sint's almost getting there, but it's 1000 who touches it first. But just 1000 right there. Heurix waiting, very patient. There's the EMP, finds 3, doesn't get
Roses
kills on their own, but JMac gets 1. Roses and MZ as well. Now it's a 4v4 situation here. They do have the Hammond on the point for Lucky Future, but the rest of LGE is now coming back up. Look, they're all positioned together again, and they're getting the kills. Lucky Future looking like chickens with their heads cut off right here, trying to find cover, but all they do is bunny hop around. And that's not how you're going to get the carrot at the end of the stick. LGE will find another win here. 3-0 in maps. They take the series, and then they push themselves to a potential 4-0 win as we go to this last map here. Lucky Future, that's a body bag zipped up.
Yeah, that's an evidence.zip right there. I think Rapture, that one's completely gone, and it looks like it's LGE being incredibly convincing, and we can't sing this guy's praises enough for Heurix. Just doing everything that he needs for his team. Huge EMP, huge hacks, putting out the damage by himself. You said it. Heurix versus Lucky Future. Heurix is kind of in a hard carry mode right now.
Yeah, honest, like I said, it's literally Haker versus Lucky Future. And the individual hacks, the EMPs are absolutely.
Dude, you know what this is like? You know what this is like? This is like you know that scene at the end of that movie. What's the Rogue One, where like Darth Vader is just like slicing through just all the soldiers at the end. That's Haker, and the soldiers are Lucky Future.
Yeah, that's like the one scene you want to wait for the end of the movie to finally see, and it's like, oh, so satisfying.
Yeah.
And Haker looking really good there. I really don't know what Lucky Future could do against them. They tried to make something happen here. Is Panda there to do a little analysis? I don't believe he is there. So we'll. But honestly though,
we'll get him back at the end. He's upset because I am right about my prediction, and he just like kind of just wants to wait it out a little bit.
Yeah, well, there's the thing is that I think LGE is kind of showing us everything that we need to know about this matchup. You can see that Lucky Future is trying to get the Far Mercy to work, but the thing is that MZ has to get close to the point itself or to do any damage to the barrage, and that just sets him up perfectly to get hit by a Somber. We got some highlights coming in here. This was the first portion of Volskaya, and then Haker, the player of the set. You can see right there, MZ was looking for the barrage. Nope, shuts him down, Kenobi. Haker was.
Look at that tracking, too. Like, Haker doesn't really need help to get those kills by himself. Another just huge hack. And the communication, you can see it right there. Haker hacks MZ, and then the dive from the Winston, absolutely perfect. Great coordinated play, and this is a team that is a mixed roster, and so the fact that they're able to communicate like this is pretty incredible. I mean, it's not that difficult to kind of just say, I mean, it's still pretty difficult. I don't want to like deny any of the credit to this team, but like when the Somber gets the hack in, it's very good for that team to just say, okay, we're going to dive onto this target, especially if it's a squishy. Great play here from LGE.Huya. They're looking like one of the teams to beat, and definitely a Pacific Challenge contending team.
Absolutely. Certainly a team we got to keep our eyes on here. Lucky Future looked like they might have been one of those teams, but it might be differently than what we expected. LGE looking to continue to rise up through this group here, and they're doing off really well. They're going to be now having another win on their record and potentially another map. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, a fourth and final map. It will be Rialto between LGE and Lucky Future. Can Lucky Future screw up LGE's map differential a little bit, or will LGE take the series 4-0? We'll find out on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, Overwatchers. Any Overwatchers in chat? Because we got a map 4. It's Rialto. LGE, now they've already won the series here, but Lucky Future does have the opportunity to take a 4th and final map here, their first map of the series. It would make it 1-3 for them. It would make it 3-1 for LGE, or LGE could win 4-0. It is Rialto. So it's time to get into this series. Kenobi, how you feeling going into this one? You think Lucky Future could take this map, or you think it's all LGE's game?
Well, I'm feeling pretty good because my prediction was correct. So I'm feeling.
That's true. You were right.
I'm feeling really good about my prediction here, calling for LGE.Huya to win this map. And they're not going to change up anything. Rapture, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're going to keep Heurix here on this Sombra. He almost is able to get Sin. Sin is basically 1 health at the moment. Someone needs to help that guy.
Yeah, honestly, I think well, for right now, Lucky Future certainly needs some help again against Heurix Sombra, who I'm sure is going to be a standout player yet again. Already at almost half EMP charge here. Now, Sin and MZ are going to get on the board, though, because you can see LGE getting caught there in that corner right side as Heurix was trying to get some damage done. He did, but the rest of his team was taking a lot of damage themselves. Lucky Future with the first team fight win.
So LGE actually is doing something really good here that I'd like to see teams do against Sombra. When they scout out the Sombra, they know the Sombra's behind them. They just decide, okay, well now if we rush onto your team, it's going to be a 5v6. You don't have a diva or anything like that, so they just rush onto Lingon Esports. They get a couple of kills. Since he's in Antarctica by himself there, not with the rest of his team.
Yeah, I hate to see that happen. Since goes down, JMac gets revenge for that earlier first blood that Since got. And now look at this. Heurix can just sit up on the high ground, farm ult charge, and get hacks. Now the Graviton does suck up LGE, and Piggy does get caught. But as Lucky Future tries to push up, they all get a little melted there, right into the EMP, and there are the kills. Before the EMP went down, a bunch of the team was already at half health. They got hit by the EMP, and they had nowhere to run to get into cover and try not to die. Now it's Kami trying to get some more shots, but Molly is just stealing the show right now, picks up 2. Heurix gets 2 as well, and Lucky Future finds themselves having to go back to the drawing board on defense. LGE takes the first checkpoint.
Yeah, and I don't think Lucky Future's going to be able to contest here. They will leave it for the side of Lingon Esports to cap that first point. And now, again, I mean, it's the tail of the tape as it's been throughout this entire series so far. Can they stop and can they deal with Heurix? And so they dealt with it first pretty well, but then Heurix got his EMP, was able to get a huge one, has to translocate before he goes into the drink there. And now, again, they're going to try and reset a little bit. I want to see Lucky Future take an aggressive push here. They understand that, Heurix is translocated. They can take a push here. They have a big shatter.
Oh, 1000 throws down a shatter and gets killed immediately. You hate to see that happen. And loses it. Oh, fight under the bridge. Since and Rose is going to go down. Recall does get the right click onto Lengsa, but dies themselves. Unfortunately for Lucky Future here, they lose the fight, but fortunately for them, they didn't burn much, so they will actually have somewhat of a fighting chance here, Kenobi, going into the next fight. Yeah,
they were able to get the Transcendence out from Molly, but again, Heurix's going to have this EMP, and with the way that he's been hitting these 5-man, 6-man EMP, this is really all they're going to need to try and to get, to win this next fight and get to that second point.
Oh, they have to know JMac has this Earth Shatter. Certainly 1000 has to be careful. That shield's going down a little low. Heurix now going to use the translocator to get above everybody. What's the EMP? And it's a fat one. Everyone loses their electronics there. Now Heurix trying to pick up both the Zarya and the Lucy on the right side. Gets a nice hack. Wow, what a play there. Denying Mello those bubble shields that would have been necessary to help keep the rest of the team alive. Heurix again contributing to another full team kill. There's the wipe. There's the win. There's the checkpoint. Now LGE strolling to a 3rd checkpoint.
And that's really good understanding of ultimates coming out from Lingon Esports, and specifically the ult economy of the enemy team. Heurix there goes in, he uses his EMP, understanding that they're going to have to trance if they want to stay alive. They trance, and then immediately once the trance is running out, there's a really nice graviton there from Piggy, gets a couple of members, and there's no healing for it. Great play and great ultimate usage and coordination coming out from Lingon Esports.
Honestly, thank all of you for subscribing to the Heurix network right here. He is just using your funds very wisely, getting these kills. JMac does go down. Mello with the Graviton, not going to burn it immediately. Seeing the rest of his team is more than strong enough here, more than bolstered to move up with him. So, Lucky Future is going to get a little bit of room, but here comes Heurix.
Another EMP.
Using the translocator to get over, almost getting over the rooftop there. I don't think that's going to be enough.
He's looking to see.
He's trying to see. He's like, can I do it? Can I?
He was looking to see if it was on the other side of the roof so that he could slide down and EMP.
And like there it is, sliding down. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 EMP lands it, and there's the Q. LGE goes right in, self-destruct from Lucky Future. Can it be enough? Off the Graviton.
Ooh, they got JMac.
Gets JMac. Could be enough, but Lucky Future gets caught in a Graviton themselves. They don't have that time to get back, so they're going to take a lot of damage as they pull away from the point. Now LG looking for some more. Lucky Future trying to get back inside. Now that third checkpoint looks like a lot closer in the sights of LGE. 3 minutes and 17 seconds left to go. Is Lucky Future going to poke back outside, and Sins goes down. Piggy at 90 seconds. There's Earth Shatter. That could be enough for Lucky Future to clean things up, but Lingon Esports trying to take some cover behind the payload. Piggy looking for some shots. Molly gets a kill at MZ.
So charged.
Out as well, and just like that, LGE looked like they were out, and they completely turn the tables on Lucky Future and destroy him yet again.
Yeah, and with 3 minutes, this is a very good time bank for Rialto. Piggy's going to just play up here and try to be as aggressive as possible. MZ can come back maybe with this rally, but the cart is pushing. It's about to get there, and it gets there. Not even a contest for the side of Lucky Future there. And, man, Lingon Esports makes it look easy, don't they, Rapture?
No, they really do. And not only that, I mean, just LGE's ability to pull themselves out of a fight no matter what. When it looks like they're about to lose, they can rely on multiple players, not just their Sombra, but I mean, their entire tank line playing very well here. They're doing goats very well alongside with the Sombra. Kenobi, Lucky Future, it looked like so many times they'd be able to bring this back, and it slips through their fingers.
Yeah, and it's just because, again, like, we keep talking about Haker, but Haker's really the one who's, you know, basically winning the fight, winning these fights for them. And I just want to shout out to the observers who have kind of kept their eyes on Haker for most of the map. We got to see that nice Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 EMP, as you called it. So, you know, they don't get a lot of shout outs, but shout out to the observers. You guys are doing great.
Well, to be honest, though, I think when it's the Haker show, you kind of have to keep the camera on the host. So it makes sense there. It's really just the Haker show with everyone else as his guest, and he is interviewing them hard. He's grilling them. Lucky Future, it really seemed like they kind of had some idea of trying to get rid of him during a fight, but they can't stop the setup. It seems like every single time LGE is able to set up the EMP, they're able to set up the grab time and time again. And once the setups come down, LGE is able to confirm off of them very frequently.
And it's weird because we saw Lucky Future kind of do what you need to do against the Sombra. When they scouted out the Sombra early, when they were defending that first point, they scouted the Sombra early, and they said, okay, we have a 5v6 now. We can just go and be aggressive onto the team. But then, once that doesn't happen, they're just so scared that Haker is anywhere and can anytime pop up, hacks you, and then you're just going to lose your life because the coordination from LGE.Huya is just so good that it's most likely a guaranteed kill every hack target.
Absolutely. Haker is certainly the monster under your bed. But Kami gets that right click onto Mellow. That's, again, setting the tone here for LG. So many times we see Lucky Future losing a critical player before a fight gets started, and that allows LG to kind of just, you know, play easy. Like, we take those for sure. Langsa now trying to do a little bit of skating out here, looking for a boot potentially as Lucky Future goes over the bridge. And
he missed his chance.
He's a little too late there. The timing's not there, but LG is going to try and make the most of it nonetheless. Lucky Future, though, they're going to push towards this right corner, going to get themselves a lot of cover and avoid the environmental kills. Now LG has the high ground, but they don't have great sight lines because Lucky Future isn't poking. That being said, Recall and Sins are still kind of low. They got boosted up. Now Roses gets hacked. Lucky Future hesitating. LGE in full control of everywhere else. Now Lucky Future trying to poke back out. They're trying to use the payload to give themselves some cover around this corner, but LGE is not going to let them go. The second that they start moving, LGE is going to wait and then jump onto them. Lucky Future going to play aggressive and try and take the fight to them. LGE's on the high ground. Lucky Future's going to right to them, but they don't realize Haker's right behind, and he's about to have this EMP Kenobi. It's about to be let loose.
Yeah, and they're in such a confined area right now. Our Lucky Future, if he hits this EMP, it's going to do massive damage. He might just wait until they get back onto the cart so there is the follow-up from the rest of his team, but he can pop this EMP anytime he wants, and he's going to get a lot of value. Almost gets it, but Sins does a nice transcendence there.
Wow, that transcendence from Sins was perfectly timed. Frame perfect transcendence there, completely shutting down the EMP. Haker has to fall back at 87%, 87 HP, sorry. Kami now has the rally. LGE smartly falling back. They're trying to keep their Winston up, but JMac has to use the Primal Rage to stay alive. Now they're going to be on the aggression. Now they're going to try and push Lucky Future off the point, but Lucky Future's bolstered up. They're behind the shield, and they have the bubble shield still up, and they have a self-destruct that they need. Recall's about to get Sound Barrier as well. There's the self-destruct. Sound Barrier's ready to go. Self-destruct forces LGE into cover. Now LGE is going to come out and try and get Lucky Future off the point, but they have very little leverage to do so. No offensive ultimates here. Nothing to really jump in with except the Winston, who does so, and Molly's going to use the Transcendence, seeing that JMac is pretty low. Kenobi, can Lucky Future stay alive? And it looks like they've already lost their Zenyatta. They're caught in a Graviton. LGE's trying to make the most of it. They do. There's a huge shatter, and that'll be enough for LGE to win the fight.
Yeah, LGE is going to take this pretty convincingly here. Melo's going to go down very quickly to Heurix. A high charge Zarya, no match for the submachine gun of a Sombra. And again, Lingon Esports, again, they have their EMP. That's really all they've needed throughout these last couple of fights. It's the EMP that are winning them these fights, whereas Lucky Future, they are going to have their support ultimates. We saw Sense hit a really nice Transcendence to counteract the EMP that was going to come out, but Recall here has to be very careful as well. If he sound barriers before this EMP comes out, EMP can just strip away all that shielding in an instant.
Yeah, and honestly, I think Lucky Future at this point, they don't have like a Sombra to give themselves leverage, and they can't close out fights. How many times have we seen here where LGE is losing a fight, but because Lucky Future can't close it out, LGE comes back into it. At this point, LGE is just way ahead of the game now. Molly getting a bunch of kills, standing in place, getting a ton of stuff down, and Lucky Future is just, I would say at this point, might be on the outs here, Kenobi.
Yeah, Molly is one of the unsung heroes, actually, from last season's LGE team, and widely regarded as a pretty underrated Zenyatta, but I think he's easily a top 3 Zenyatta in the region. Does a lot of good job with his fragging and with his Transcendences. There's the bomb right there. It gets 2, Melo at 1,000 down. That's the tank line down, and that's probably Lucky Future's chances of winning this map going into the canals of Rialto.
Yeah, they were kind of sucked in there like moths to a light bulb, right into that self-destruct. LGE gets the cleanup, only a second remaining on the clock, and there it is. LGE takes it 4-0 over Lucky Future to close out this third and final match of the day.
And again, just, it's the Heurix show. In trials, unfortunately, they disbanded at one point, but he was regarded as one of the best Sombras in the league, in probably China, has made top 10 with that character as well in ladders. So bring him in is one of probably the best pickups I think any team could have made. You know, people from that Ambitious Immortals roster, you know, you had Micha last season. I think Heurix can be kind of like that Micha player where you have this one player who is just that good at that specific hero that he can take you places. Micha took Team OW to the championship. Maybe, you know, Heurix is the same type of player.
Absolutely, yeah. And the thing is that Heurix has JMac and Piggy to work with, right? So, I mean, you got so much.
Not too shabby. Not
yeah,
too shabby
exactly. Like, and those are 2 players that you are already super strong. Alongside Heurix, I mean, that is a deadly combination, Kenobi. That was it, 4-0. 3 great games here today. Any last words before we wrap things up?
No, I think that's it. I mean, we had a really good day, I think, of Overwatch. We saw some teams that, you know, should have maybe some upsets in the first one. We saw the first Academy battle between 2 teams in the first match, which I think is very cool for China. I can't wait to see more of those. I can't wait to see Lingon play Team CC. I think that's going to be a match to look out for. I have been completely floored with how Lingon have looked, and this is my first match catching them, and Heurix just looks like an absolute showstopper. I think he's definitely a player to look out for, that Micha-type caliber of player where you can maybe win an entire seasons of Contenders just off of this one player.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see more from LG. Can't wait to see more from Heurix. Can somebody step up, or will Heurix be the Sombra to beat here in this region? So far, it's certainly looking that way. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been Overwatch Contenders China Season 1, 2019, Week 2, Day 2. Thank you all for joining us. I've been Rapture here at Kenobi. You also had LemonKiwi, Heurix, we had Panda, we had Toda and producer, we had Capiano on coordinator. A bunch of people bringing this all to you. Thank you all for tuning in. And we'll see you next week for some more Overwatch Contenders China Season 1, 2019. We'll see you next time.